Hi, Coach.
Hello.
We'll get started. Jonathan Fagan.
Hi, Stephen. You obviously have quite a few guys who are playing different minutes, different roles than if you were at full strength. Are they doing the things, playing the positions in the ways they would normally play it if everybody was playing, or are they having to sort of branch out, do different things? And how does that impact development?
Yeah, they're having to play more minutes, more. I guess they just need a little bit more diversity in their game right now. With a full group, it's kind of easier to pick a role and kind of be in that role. But right now, like KJ Martin, for instance, tonight he's going to be playing. Well, he's been playing a lot of backup five for us, and tonight he's going to be playing some five. And I don't foresee him playing a bunch of five moving forward. I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but yeah, like screening and rolling is something he's going to do moving forward. But being at the top of the floor and having to create action and do all the things that a five-man does, it's on both ends of the floor, is something that is going to be that he's stretching himself now, and hopefully it'll help moving forward when he does have to, step into that role occasionally. But yeah, he's having to do more different things than he's had to do before. Armani Brooks, for example, has had to handle the ball more than he will or should moving forward. He's more of a catch and shoot type guy. And then we have House playing some point, and I know you're talking about the young guys, but House playing the point, that's not what we envision him doing as well. And then with Tate, he's the one guy, right? He's the one who has the ability, and we see him doing a little bit of everything, whether it's handling the ball, playing small ball five, playing the three, defending any position, and just having all of that versatility and taking advantage of all of that versatility. So in the position that we're in now, yeah, there are guys doing more than they probably will moving forward, but this experience can't hurt at all.
So it's good for him? Or is it better you do you, that way coaches always say?
Yeah, it's good for him.
Thanks.
Adam Spolin.
Yeah, I guess along those lines, is that maybe one of the silver linings of what you've had to deal with for the last month or so, is that you're learning that these guys are maybe capable of doing things that you didn't know they were capable of?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, guys are getting an opportunity to do a bunch, and these are usually things you kind of find in practice, right? Like, wow, KJ is making a lot of threes in practice lately. Maybe we'll see what he can do on the wing, or set up some ATOs so he can spot up or something like that. So for younger guys, you usually see little sparks or growth or whatever you want to call it in practice. And since we haven't had much practice time and we are forced to play these guys a bunch of minutes with all the injuries that we're having, yeah, you're right. We're finding things that they could do that we didn't necessarily know before, because, I mean, how are you going to know until you have a guy?
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, how hard is it to prepare for a team like the Jazz, knowing that they are one of the top teams in the Western Conference, but knowing that they also shoot a lot of three-pointers?
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, like I said last night, whether we were full strength or not, the Utah Jazz are a problem to defend. And obviously, without Mitchell and Conley, it makes it a little bit different, but they're still shooting a ton of threes and getting up in transition, getting out in transition and making threes. But Donovich is a problem. And, Gobert, all of the problems that he creates. So, yeah, it's a difficult challenge, not only because of who they are, but kind of the situation that we're in as far as having 8 guys available to play, not wanting to run guys into the ground with their minutes. the back-to-back nature of it. And I was trying to think back to the last back-to-back that I had where there was a 3-hour flight from point A to point B. I don't really remember it. I thought it might have been like Seattle to Phoenix back-to-back or something like that, which was a long time ago, but you know, it is what it is.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Stephen, I joined about 2 minutes late, so I don't know if you've been asked about this, but Kelly Olynyk and Jae'Sean listed as questionable. What is their status for tonight?
Yeah, so Kelly's going to be out with his ankle, and Jae'Sean's going to be in.
Can you tell us who your starters are yet?
No.
Do you? How long do you anticipate Avery Bradley will be out?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. He has some personal stuff that he's dealing with, and we're allowing him the time to deal with it. So there is no timetable on his return.
Okay, thanks.
Jonathan Fagan.
Kind of along those same lines then, do you have a feel for a timetable on Christian Wood?
Not really. With Christian and KP, there really isn't much of a timetable for those guys. They are slowly responding to the treatment and those things, but there is pain and there's all of the things that go along with an injury that Christian's been dealing with his injury for a long time, and KP just got his injury. And yeah, there's really I don't have a good timetable as far as their return.
Thanks.
Eric Walden.
Coach, getting back to what you were saying about the Jazz and just the problems they present, there's been kind of a theory going around that, with this team having been, eliminated in the first round of the playoffs the last couple of years, that that's going to work against them this year, that they haven't gone through the quote unquote requisite growing pains. Do you subscribe to that a team kind of needs to work its way through the postseason year over year, or do you feel like a team that's that talented and that's been on top of the standings all season long is a legitimate contender?
Yeah, I think they're a legitimate contender. As far as your climbing and all of that, I think one of the things that they have going for them is they've been together for a long time, and they know each other so well, regardless of the first round losses or whatever. That experience that they had just getting to the playoffs and now the success that they've had this season makes me believe that they're a contender. I mean, there are very few holes in their play as far as they have go-to guys. They have they play with purpose on both ends of the floor. They're a very good defensive team, obviously, with Gobert. And then Clarkson as a wild card off the bench. He can win you a playoff game or a playoff series or whatever. So I'm not necessarily one who subscribes to the old adage of you have to kind of climb your way to the finals. I think you just have to have a team that has been together for a while. You have to have a team that plays with purpose on both ends of the floor. And then you have to have some guys, especially in a playoff series, that can get you a bucket when you need one, basically, without, too much work. And with Mitchell and Clarkson and Conley, to some extent, they do have those guys who, when things break down, they can go get you one.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Adam Spolin.
You brought up the long flight, but this is now 2 games since the break. It's 2 games in Salt Lake, 1 game in Denver, and all 3 games have been the second night of a back-to-back. So the schedule hasn't been great for you. But
Thanks for bringing that up.
On the guys coming back, is there a balance that you have to try and strike with? You don't want to bring these guys back too quick, but at the same time, you want to try and give the guys who are healthy just a little bit of help?
Yeah, for sure. And that's a great point. And I tried to make that point a little bit last night as far as the wear on the guys that we have. So We have guys who are playing through injury. Like last night, we had DJ Augustine, who's not 100%, but he played, and Daniel House, who's not 100% and played, and Kelly Olynyk, who's not 100% and played, and just down the line. So if we could get some of these guys back, that would lessen the load on the guys who are kind of fighting through injury, like Jae'Sean Tate will be tonight, and it'll be easier moving forward as far as like not running these guys into the ground with just 5 games to go in the season, making sure that the minutes just aren't crazy. And part of that is hopefully some guys coming back. And if they don't, still, like last night, I thought I was able to play house like 16 minutes, I think, and DJ Augustine 26 or so, and Kelly Olynyk 31, and I think that was pretty good. So that's what I'm trying to do as far as the minutes are concerned, if we don't have anybody coming back.
And last question, Jonathan Fagan.
With the advantage of hindsight, when we think about back-to-back games with 10 players out, back-to-backs, I guess you probably got to the hotel at around 3:30 Central Time. Was trying to squeeze 72 games into 5 months a mistake?
I don't think so. This is typical NBA stuff. I mean, there's years where we've had 12, 13 back-to-backs and all of that stuff. And yeah, I don't feel it that much. I mean, I think it's probably exacerbated by the fact that we've had all of the injuries that we've had, and we've dealt with COVID. And I do think the COVID piece has made it just not a little bit, but has made it tougher, because so we did get in late last night, but we had to test this morning and make sure that the results are back at a time where we could play tonight, so that piece of it makes the kind of recovery part a little bit tougher. But I wouldn't call it a mistake to play all 72 or play the 72 in the amount of time that we played it. And somebody told me that the amount of games per week, I think, is up this season, maybe just 0.2 games per week, which over the length of a season is a little bit substantial, but not totally crazy. So long-winded answer to say I don't think so.
So the NBA just one day needs to figure out where Salt Lake City is.
No comment.
I said it, not you. Of course, many have said it before me, but thank you.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.